This is 2 Minutes Together, a ministry of Central Lutheran Church, Eugene, Oregon. I'm Pastor Ben. This week we celebrate Transfiguration Sunday, when we remember Jesus going on that mountain and being transformed, becoming dazzling white, and revealing who he is as the Son of God. There's one detail in that story that many of you know, that Peter, who doesn't really know what he's saying, says to Jesus when Moses and Elijah show up, let's build 3 dwellings here. One for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. I think there's a lot of different things going on there, but I'd like to try to maybe read this in an unusual way, maybe a surprising way, by saying maybe Peter wasn't dead wrong. He was wrong in the sense that they weren't going to stay there, so building a dwelling there wasn't a good idea. But maybe what Peter was thinking about might be something that we can think about. He was saying, can we put a physical space together for us to be able to pause and recognize what's going on here? A spiritual place in this world. I'm in front of a painting of our sanctuary. We all know that's not really where God is, or at least I hope we know that's not where God is, and that this is not the permanent space of what we need in order to have a relationship with God. But I would suggest that when you enter a sanctuary, your own sanctuary or any sanctuary, there is a different feeling and sense that you have there. That it might have a bit of a sense of reverence, of recognizing who I am and who God is. And that's not because we believe this space is somehow holy and different from everywhere else, essentially, but because of what it makes us feel. See, humans need that. We need to have different spaces where we act differently. So, for example, you act very differently at Walmart and Costco than you do at church, I hope. But what Peter might be asking for is, can we pause and try to recognize what's happening? And Jesus honestly says, no, there's no way you're going to understand this until this story's over, until after the crucifixion and you meet another person clothed in white at the tomb. You see, I think Peter is trying to say there is a way for us to be religiously minded and for us to put ourselves in a place where we can really worship. And I think that impulse is right. It's just not time for that yet. Here we are now. Now there's time for that. When we come together and gather in a sacred space, whatever that sacred space is for you, it might be our sanctuary. It might be with your family. It might be when you visit your grandparents' home. Whatever that is, it is a place that reminds you who you are and who God is. To be deliberate about that. To find those places in life because they can help remind you of whose you are. This is 2 Minutes Together. I'm Pastor Ben.